So the purpose of this video is to show you the four different tissue types so that you can, number one, recognize how organs work by working out where the four different types of tissues are and how they're working together to make that organ work. And then also if there's changes to those individual tissue types or any other changes, you'll be able to diagnose diseases. So generally I'm going to go from by 4 to by 10 to by 40. So that's a 10 40 by 40 magnification by 100 by 400 magnification. Won't do any oil. And we're going to be real. Some of these slides are not going to be well stained as they are in schools. They get faded and so forth. And so you can't always have these perfect slides. And so we're just going with what we've got. And this one looks like either simple columnar or pseudo-stratified columnar. I can't actually tell very clearly, and I'm just trying to show the cilia on it. So there's often other parts added into these layers, and as you could have seen from the by 40, it's either lining the outside of the organ or it's lining various tubes inside the organ. And so this one here is meant to be stratified squamous, so and you sort of a giveaway is sort of the dead single layer on top that's sort of pulled away from it because of just because of the processing of it when it gets cut. Sometimes the cells get ripped, so it can be ripped and squished, and they can be faded. So not always easy. So moving on to muscle tissue, muscle is good because there's only three types. So there's either the skeletal muscle. So the skeletal muscle is nice and straight. If you look closely, you can see there's quite a lot of nuclei. So you might not be able to make out individual cells, but you might under oil or electron micrographs. So you're going to have to just assume that they are multinucleated cells. But the real giveaway is the striations. You can see those lines there, and they're the protein fibers all lining up, so they will contract. If you're unlucky, you'll get, instead of longitudinal section, you get a cross section. As you can see, this is actually quite good because you can sort of make out that there's more than one nucleus per cell, but you can't see the striations or any other indications. But in a single slide, you might see both, so that will help you out. So smooth muscle here, this one's a little faded, so it's hard to make out the individual cells, but you can see it's in one direction, but it's a little bit wavy. And you can kind of make out that the cells, they're meant to be in the middle. They're not so much on the side. So I think probably oil would help with that. But you can see you can't see striations. There's just one there's a lot less nuclei. If you go in closer, hopefully you can see one single nuclei within the cell. And lastly, cardiac. Cardiac, you can see because it's not really just contracting in one direction, it's sort of a three-dimensional movement. It is there's more than one nucleus per cell, which might be hard to see, but you can see that they are branching. So different to smooth and skeletal in that they just have moving in one straight line from A to B. These are sort of going off in all sorts of directions. And so you can't really see the striations that well. There's something called intercalated discs, which again are a little hard to see. So you're just going to have to go on the general pattern of how the cells are orientated and the idea that there could be more than one nucleus per cell. Now, connective tissue is a little bit like protists. When you're classifying organisms and you just have a too hard basket, you dump it all into the protist section. Connective tissue, you just dump it all. Don't know where to put it, you just dump it all under connective tissue. So tendons, ligaments, blood, cartilage, bone, fat, they just throw them into the connective tissue one. Just to help you with future organs and stuff. Um, Generally, bone and cartilage, it's just a nice smooth staining because it's just a pure sort of mineral apatite for the bone at least. And so you can see concentric circles for the bone. The cartilage is a little bit more random, but it does have those central cells that are producing that matrix that it's surrounded by. Just one other one. I've gone into blood in quite a lot of detail in the first video, so watch that because blood's probably the most important one, so it got its own video. Fat tissue isn't around much because it's not very diagnostic for disease. but you can find it a little bit in some organs. Well, a lot if you're sort of not too healthy. I've just got there a tendon, so you can see all these connective tissues. It's just a bit of bit cells joining different bits and pieces together and holding them together. So with nervous tissue, I just use a process of elimination. So normally a tube, if it's got nothing in it, it's a lumen. So it's meant to be blank. So things like your stomach are just empty tubes, basically. And if it's not that, and it's full, hopefully it's full of blood, and you can tell by there's all the different layers, whether it's a vein or an artery. And so if it's not any of those and it's just one single thin layer of epithelium around it and it's got an even matrix in between, then I'll go nervous tissue. And lastly, the biggest killer in most countries, it's either heart attack or cancer. So it's usually fighting for top spot, whether it's cancer or heart attacks. So I'm just going to show you the cancer cells. So you can see all the previous tissues were regular, repeating patterns really. And here you have a whole range of very large nuclei that are uneven sizes and multi-lobed and uneven shapes. And so that's what a cancer looks like.